Hey, what's up, good people? How you doing? Welcome back to Stock Up with Larry Jones. If you're new, this is a season where you want to follow a page like this from somebody that's been through many of these, okay? So hit the like, subscribe, and notification bell. I'm just going to be straightforward with you guys and tell you this is just not good. Whether you're buying, selling, or holding, it's not good. It's just not good. I'm not going to sugarcoat it, but we have to position ourselves because this is our money. This is not the time to tap out. So let's look at this. Dow tumbles 900 points. NASDAQ drops 4% as market sells off, intensifies on recession fears, okay? So this is what's going on. These tariffs, for those of you that did not know, I was quite vocal on the pain that it was going to inflict. No one knows the amount of pain, but we're feeling it today. And for those of you that don't know, 4% for the NASDAQ is massive. Look at your portfolios. If you got big tech, you got big problems today, right? If you got crypto, you got big problems today. All right. So I'm just going to help navigate through some of this stuff. Here's what's going on. Trump says a transition period for the economy is likely, right? He was also asked, could he take recession off the table on a sit down? And he could not answer that. He says, no, I'm not even looking at the stock market. Let's look at what he says. Trump says a transition period for the economy is likely. You can't really watch the stock market, okay? For you guys that don't believe that, Washington does not affect the stock market, there you go, right? And this is all because of the tariff wars. We're not getting to a blame game. We're just we're gonna stick to our money. That's what we're gonna do on this page because that's what we're about, right? Because you got to understand, on both sides of the aisles, when this is, remember 2022, when we went through something like this, it was the powers that be that caused it, okay, with the ridiculous inflation and printing of money. Well, now you have a president that's anti-printing of money, but then we're forced into a recession and lower rates, which hurts the banks and financial institutions, and no printing of money. Okay, so there's going to be some pain, good people. All right, this is what it is. There's going to be some pain one way or another. I understand what he's trying to do. For those of you, trust me, I understand more than most of you watching me. I understand exactly what the tactic is. You could spare you don't understand. No, I understand. You don't understand. What you have to understand is this could last a long time. 2022, for those of you that was in the market and really had money in the stock market, it was a brutal, brutal year. Every single day, every single week, every single month, every time you purchase, you was catching a falling knife. And that falling knife was cutting deep. But at some point, you just have to buy, right? So let's take a look here. NASDAQ down 4.64%. Absolutely massive. S&P, look at that. 3.29%. The Dow, look at that. 1,000 points. It's just absolutely dropping. And just when you and I buy, I'm sorry, these are the new anti-glares. I'm going to change them up. Just when you and I buy, and when the charts tell us it's a good time to buy, and history tells us it's a good time to buy, what? It continues to fall. Unfortunately, there's not going to be a slow upwards trend. It's going to be spring-loaded, V-shaped recovery, based on the way that this president thinks and reacts. Okay, we've come to a deal. I talked to Zelensky. The war is off. And I talked to Canada, Mexico, and China. The tariffs are off. And then, boom, right back up. And then you and I have missed it. So this is why you got to be careful, because this is different. The reason why we are in this is different, okay? And so you got to keep that in mind. Let's even look at crypto really quick. Crypto, you keep buying, It keeps dropping. I told you guys on yesterday, I'm looking for it to come down to 74. When I said that, it was 80. Now it's 77. And it's dropping like a rock, right? I had somebody in my money moves that says, oh, I should have kept all of my money in XRP. Well, good luck with that. Look at what it's doing today, okay? And so it's affecting everything. Regardless of what you're in, you're feeling the pain today. The fear and greed is going to extreme fear. I know someone going to say, hey, Larry, but you said it was the time to buy. When we're in an upward trend and we're going up, it is a good time to buy on extreme fear, right? We just don't want to be buying, and he calls this an early crypto winter. It's difficult, right? These are the two things you can have. You could have a bullish stock market and be in crypto winter. You can have a bullish stock market and a bearish crypto market. But you cannot have a recession in a bullish crypto market. So just get that straight. You can have the stock market skyrocketing and crypto, we can be in crypto winter. But you cannot have the stock market crashing down and have a bullish crypto. That's not going to happen. So always keep that in mind, all right? So let's look at this. We got the NASDAQ down. I'm going to show you where I'm looking at. We got the NASDAQ down just every time I look at it, it just keeps getting worse. Every time I go, I'm going to buy a little more, it just keeps getting worse, all right? Let's look at the NASDAQ here. The last time the NASDAQ was here was Tuesday, the 3rd of September, 2024. Tuesday the 3rd, September 2024. That was the last time we had a big red candle that wicked down on the NASDAQ. You see that? And so we had all of this. And now it actually, this is what I want to point out. From the bottom of where we are now, it actually dropped another 4%. Now, I'm not saying that this is exactly what's going to happen again, but you can clearly see right here, we revisited this twice. Okay, let's see here. Let's see. Look like we have something right here at 16. Look at that. You see that? Where it bottoms out. I'm sorry, I got the wrong selector here. It looks like we hit this point a couple of times right here on the NASDAQ, okay? And you can trade the NASDAQ with QQQ. Let's look at the SPY, S&P 500. Same day when we had the red candle that wicked down. This is the S&P 500 top 500 companies for those of you that don't know. But let's look at the date. The date again, Tuesday the 3rd, September 2024. So why are we looking at that date? What I always do is I go research, right? Now remember, this is what I want to show you guys on the S&P 500. Since that period, the stock market went up. The S&P 500 went up what? What it usually annualizes, 10%. Now, for those of you that don't know, that's massive in this period, okay? 10% is a lot for the S&P 500, okay? So what I did was I Googled it. That date, September 3rd, 2024, and look at this. Stock tumbles Tuesday as technology names struggle and new economic data rekindles fear around the health of the economy, which is what we're going through right now. The Dow Jones average fell 626 points. You see this? Or 1.5 at the end, and you can see where the S&P and the NASDAQ closed and how much it fell, right? And so that was what was going on back here. Here we are now. And we're just trying to find a place to start buying. But there's a massive, massive problem. And that problem is that we don't know how long these tariff wars are going to go. We just don't know. We've never had someone like this in charge but one time, and it was the same person. Okay. And without getting political, we are at the mercy of the White House. That's what we are right now because he holds the cards. And when I mean that, I mean he holds the cards with China, Mexico, and Canada, and with the war. So he's in the middle of everything. He's positioned himself dead in the middle. Now, there could be a lot of good that come out of this, right? But the bad part is this, and I hate to hit you with the bad news. The bad news is for those of us that when crypto, just think about this, good people. This is how unfair it is to the common person, you and I. Your stock, your crypto after the recession took off, right? Right? And now it's coming down, triggering stop losses. But you got to pay taxes on the gains of last year while you're losing this year, right? You go, oh, you can write off. There's a limit to how much you can write off. I'm just bringing you the facts. And so at the end of the day, you and I pay for everything. All right, enough with the negativity. The positive thing is that at some time or at some point, it's time to start buying. Hold your nose and start buying. And for those of you that have heard me say time and time again, I'm holding a pile of cash. I'm 50% cash. I'm only investing new money. And for those of you that have saw me when I was touring, speaking at conferences over the last year, I told you, if you're just getting into the market is frothy. For every dollar that you deposit, only invest 25%. This is why. And save the other 75%. For those of you that have heard me say that over and over, this is why. Larry, why are you holding that cash? It's not doing anything. I never knew when something like this was going to happen, but I know it does happen. And this is how you're prepared. Now, you didn't have to have 50%, but you got to have some dry powder, because if you're all in the market, both stocks and crypto, you can't win when the market goes down and you don't have dry powder. So at some point, you just have to start buying. At some point, you got to start buying. And so, we started buying right here. We started buying right here. Or should I say I started buying right here. And I'm going to buy my way down on the S&P 500. I'm going to buy my way down on the NASDAQ, which is QQQ. Let me pull it up for you guys that don't know. You can just literally buy QQQ, all right? And have exposure to big tech without the risk of just buying Tesla, Nvidia, that type of deal. And for those of you that are loading up on Tesla right now, I'm going to tell you to be careful, because half of Tesla's vehicles are made in China. All right. And so that's what's happening. And I don't care where you stand on that. When there's a battle going on, the captain of the ship has to be a frontline soldier. If you're a governor of a state or a mayor of a city and that city is flooded or hitting snow, that's not the time to go on vacation. So I'm totally against Elon being focused on anything else but his company. That I stand on. But look at this. This is what I mean. Tesla is down in the last month 36%. But you can get exposure to Tesla by just buying the QQQ. You would only be down, let's call that 11%. On the day, look at that. I'm sorry, on the week, QQQ down 4%, Tesla down 17%, right? And we can just load this up with, the Mag 7 or tech-heavy companies, right? And then the day, look at that, down another 15%. So I would be careful with buying too much Tesla. And sometimes, good people, it's better to wait until a confirmed reversal and then start buying, rather than trying to time the bottom. Good luck with that. Many have tried. You may think you're smart enough to do that. You're not. All right. all I'm going to say, at some point, you need to start buying. So right now, I've sold a lot of my big tech, Nvidia, Tesla, Google, Apple, and I didn't just sell it. I used my stop losses. And so I'm freeing up that capital, that cash, and adding it to the cash that I had. And I'm going to be buying more of the ETFs. Okay. So that's what I want to tell you guys. And the same thing with crypto. I have no memes. A lot of my alts have triggered stop losses, but I have them in brackets. There's probably more stop losses triggering right now while I'm here. Larry, why don't you just hold everything? Because I can buy back in even right now from yesterday and I'll still be in a better position, right? There's some crypto that I'm still holding that I haven't sold. I had looser stop losses, right? So I had more room to fall. Like Bitcoin, I'm still in, and for me, not for you. I'm telling you what I am. I've been crystal clear on my crypto journey. My stop losses and my memes, right? And some of like half of my alts, they're going to Bitcoin. When I get back in, as Bitcoin drops, I have it in USDC because I'm getting 4% on it. And I'm going to be moving it more into Bitcoin, and I'm going to get some more altcoins. I'm going to get a little more. I'll get back in and get them a little more Solana, a little more Link, even a little more XRP when it starts to really, really fall. I don't believe the XRP hype, but I do like the stable coin story for XRP. Right? That's what I like the most. All right. So I'm going to leave it right there because there's a lot to talk about. But I want you to find your stock in your crypto, because crypto and stock could turn around if we don't fall into a recession. If we fall into a recession, crypto summer is done. That's what I feel, right? And it's done. And you better, if you got any memes or a lot of the alts will fall. We don't know how much. I'm just going to stick it to you straight. So I'm not going to be one of these, kids on this platform just yelling buy, 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 buy. No, you better be very selective in what you buy. Catching a falling knife can just continue to fall. Go back to 2022 for those of you that weren't in the market and just see stocks and crypto, how brutal and how long it was. But I was here and I never left you guys. I'm not going to leave you now. And I am buying a little VOO today. I am buying a little VUG. I'm buying a little bit of Tom Lee's ETF that he has out, that Granny's ETF. And those are the things that I'm buying. I'm not buying any individual tech stock today. If you are, let me know what you're buying and why you're buying. I'm definitely not buying any miners. I have no miners and I have no micro strategy. I'm being straight up with you. All right. And so I'm just telling you, that's leverage. On a day like today, it is a day where you just mainly sit still and let it fall. Let it come to you. All right. All right. But we can wake up tomorrow and this whole tariff war be over. So that's what we're at. All right. So I'll talk to you later, guys. Let me know. Hopefully I pointed you in the right direction where you can make a conscious decision on what you're going to do, especially in times like this. Hey, this is brought to you by Stock Up You. Learn everything you need to know about the stock market and crypto. These are the times when you need to invest in yourself and find out what's going on and how to make money. At the end of the day, I'm going to make money, whether the stock market is falling or going up. My heart is heavy, not just because of the money that I'm losing, but I know there's a lot of you that just got into the market, and my heart is heavy for you because a lot of you are you bought high and now it's falling and you're selling. All right. And you didn't have any cash. Right. And so that's what my heart is heavy for right now. And we're at the hands of wealthy people. Over 60% of Washington is wealthy. They're over millionaires. They're millionaires on both sides of the aisle. And let me say something straight. We always talk about Pelosi and her crystal ball. But there's actually a Republican that outperforms her. That name never gets mentioned, right? So don't just look at one side. The reality is that every time something like this happens, the common man pays the bill. Actually, the wealthy, especially the ultra wealthy, gets wealthier every time. All right? We'll see you later. Live, love, laugh, and learn.